Hello, Planeswalkers! Tyler here.
And Andrew.
And today we are bringing you another episode of Taps for Two. This time, we're just going to sit here, we're going to look at creatures that we want as commanders.
And this isn't limited to just creatures that exist that aren't legendary. This includes creatures that we wish did exist.
Right, like the Nephilim are always like the big one that comes up of, people still build decks around the Nephilim and, ask, hey, is it cool if I use these as a commander? And a lot of the time, people are cool with it.
Yeah.
There's also, a handful of other creatures. I know, Command Quarters kind of talked about it. There's a handful of creatures that feel like they should be legendary, but they aren't. The Chromanticore, who's this 5-color bestow creature.
Yeah.
Who gives just, a Swiss Army knife of abilities. But yeah, like what you were saying, that's not exactly what we're here to talk about. We're here more of, looking at templates that are already out there, but applied to other creatures. The big one that I have down that I wanted to look at was the Flip Planeswalkers that they introduced in Origins for Chandra, Gideon, Jace, Nissa, and Liliana. And then, we revisited them again. Because we've got Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, from M19.
Yeah, we got a flip card for him later on.
And I think that's super cool. I think, because Bolas... granted, Bolas did have a legendary creature beforehand. But, the 5, the Gatewatch members, having creature versions of them, I think was super cool. Yeah. And I want one specifically for Ugin and for Sorin. Sorin Markov and Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Because, with Ugin, I figure, since we already have one for Bolas, and the two of them are brothers and twins, spoiler alert, it makes sense that we should get one for Ugin too.
Yeah.
I was even, thinking about, so Bolas is Grixis. He's, red, black, blue.
Yes.
And I don't think Ugin always had access to colorless mana. I think that might have been a thing after he died in the Meditation Realm and came back as the Spirit Dragon. So, roll with me on this. Creature Ugin, who is green-white. So that you have all 5 colors between him and Bolas.
Definitely could be. I think he would be green, white, blue, honestly. I think he would still have blue.
Okay, yeah.
I think he'd
green,
be banned.
Yeah, I could see that. But then, something having to do with him dying, and then paying mana when he dies to have him flip into this colorless planeswalker.
That would be cool. If I may speculate for a moment, in M21 coming up here, we're going to be focusing on Teferi. We already know that.
Right.
This is right after Theros, so we're still 2 sets away from this. So this is all speculation. But Teferi is a time wizard. What if we go back in time and see Ugin before he was a planeswalker? What if in M21 we get this flip card? And I really hope that that's true.
Yeah, no, now that you brought it up, I could see them doing, a whole suite of these.
Yeah, because Teferi could just be having some timey-wimey adventures all across the multiverse.
Do one for Teferi, do one for Urza.
Urza would be cool.
Do one for Lord Windgrace.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just because Lord Windgrace... words are hard. Lord Windgrace, Panther Pal, as I saw Card Kingdom call him once.
He's Bagheera.
Yeah. He hates Urza, but he was part of the Titans, or the 9 Titans that Urza had put together for the attack on Phyrexia. Freyalise would be another really cool one to see.
A Johnny. Maybe. You seem to disagree with me there.
Well, it would be cool because we do have a creature for Johnny's brother. I figured we were just kind of focusing on the Dominarian people.
Okay.
Because Johnny is from Alara. But I could see that if, with the Johnny and Teferi being both part of the Gatewatch now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, yeah, a Johnny, it'd be cool to see one for Teferi, cool to see one for Ugin. I could see one, give us a chance to give us a not broken Urza.
Yeah. And not even restricting it to what could come in M21, just stuff like Nahiri and Ajani, because Ajani may not come in M21, but just in general, Planeswalker flip cards.
Yeah,
Those would
no,
be kinda cool.
I would love that because I think Ugin would be a really cool one just because
He's such a major character.
he is, and we've already got, you know, like I had said earlier, we got one for Bolas, and the two of them are twins, so it would make sense to give Ugin one. On the flip end of that, Sorin is my favorite character. Sorin Markov, I love this guy. He was my first Planeswalker card. He's why I play Mono Black a lot. I started with Mono Black because of him. Like, I love Sorin.
He's a cool guy. He's very handsome.
Yeah.
If I may say so myself.
Stone cold. Because he's a vampire. But, like, imagine, like, a human side where... Because we don't really know much about what he was like when he was human. Because he's old. Like, with Ugin and Bolas kind of outside of the multiverse now, I believe it's fair to say Sorin is the oldest current being in the multiverse.
Yeah, that makes sense. He does not age.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for me to try and pin down, like, what he would be like if, like, in human, because, like, when we first saw him as a Planeswalker, he was Mono Black, which I think his Planeswalker side for a card like this would be, because he really didn't get the white mana. He's centered in black-white now, but he really didn't get that white mana until he kind of took it upon himself to protect Innistrad. So given that we're kind of looking at, or we would be looking at, like, a newly turned Sorin, someone that's kind of scared over what just happened, someone that's a lot more selfish, a lot more, like, looking out for number one.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, white-red for... Because, yeah, that would make sense, because that would put him squarely in Mardu.
Yeah.
If he's white-red on his human side, and then the vampire side's mono-black.
That would be interesting. Also, he was never... he was only ever a vampire and a planeswalker at the same time, because it was him becoming a vampire.
Yes, it was the shock of him becoming a vampire that caused his spark to ignite.
So the creature side of the flip card probably wouldn't have to do with lifelink like some of the Sorin planeswalker cards do, because he was not a vampire at the time.
It would be, like I said, it's kind of easier for me to try and, like, speculate on, like, what an Ugin creature would be, just because we actually have, like, a whole, like, 8 or 9 part story about Ugin and Bolas hatching and hunting together. Like, I guess at one point, like, they had learned to hunt in tandem.
Yeah.
Because they were each half this, because they came from the same egg. And they were each half the size of their siblings and cousins.
Boy, did that change.
Well, what was even funnier is the other ones all had 2 names. Vivictus Asmati, Arcady Sabbath, Palladium Wars.
They were just Nicol and Ugin, weren't they?
It was just Nicol and Ugin, and Bolas gave himself the second name to try and put himself on the same tier as his bigger siblings.
Wasn't their story something like Bolas learned to manipulate humans, where Ugin learned from humans?
Ugin,
like that?
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Like they both saw, like, primitive humans kill a dragon, and Bolas immediately was like, "Well, they killed one of ours. Let's go stop them." And Ugin was like, "But wait, but what if we don't?" And then, yeah, they kind of they took that in different directions. So I could see, like, an Ugin creature card, like, making, like, these 1/1, like, making 1/1 human tokens or something like that, or drawing cards, which is, you know, like what you were saying with the blue mana.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons why I think he would be blue, because he was studying the humans. Later on, he was studying the Eldrazi. Plus that.
Yeah, he was really mad when 2 of them got killed.
Yeah, plus since he and Bolas are twins, it would make sense that they would share at least one color.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I like that more than what I was originally thinking of. Just together they complete the color pie, but no, I like the idea of they share blue, but for vastly different reasons. Yeah. And then they split into one is red-black, the other is green-white.
I just had another idea for Ugin.
What up?
Instead of having, well, maybe not instead of having a Planeswalker flip card, because I still want that. But what if we go even further back into their history before either of them got their ignited their sparks, where they were actually working together, like you said, when they were younger and they're
kind of like how we have cards like both of Chandra's parents or both of the gay kings.
Either both of them on one card or both of them as partner commanders.
Oh, partner creatures?
Partner Ugin, Bolus.
It'd be
Ugin and Nickel.
Oh, Ugin and Nickel? Dude!
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be super cool. It's like... Yeah, no, I'm totally on board with that.
That'd be really cool, I think.
But then, there was some that you wanted to talk about too, and
the first one I wanted to talk about, in War of the Spark, we got Ilharg the Razeboar.
We got him as a stand-in for Hazoret.
Yeah, for the red god of that cycle. And
if she could not leave Amonkhet.
Yeah, she was not dead, number one, and was not covered in Lazotep. But, if I'm remembering right, Ilharg was dormant until then. Was that right?
Something along those lines. I know the Gruul worshipped him, and there was like a bunch of stuff leading up to it. But yeah, I think saying he was dormant was because the Gruul's whole big thing is that it was a prophecy that the End Rays would come and it would be ushered in by Ilharg, and that's when they would retake Ravnica for the Wilds.
Okay, that's interesting. But I personally find it hard to believe that a plane would only have one god. I feel like if it's going to have one, it's going to have at least a cycle of 5.
Well, because they have the Nephilim, which are kind of considered like the old gods. But now, the more that I think about it, I believe there are other hints to... Because there's like the Priest of Forgotten Gods that we got in one of those Ravnica sets that... from the war block, but she could just be referring to the Nephilim.
Yeah, even if there's no legitimate reason for me to think that there's going to be more gods in Ravnica, I still want it to be true, and that's more what I want to talk about, because we could have a cycle of another 4 Ravnican gods. And since Ilharg was mono-red but was still kind of the Gruul, maybe they would pick 4 other guilds to center the other 4 monocolored gods around.
So, like, white would be either Azorius, Selesnya, Orzhov,
or
Boros.
Yeah, something like that, because Ilharg he's even red with, like, green flames, so he looks Gruul even though he's mono-red. Yeah, he's got a green mohawk. Maybe it's not flames, but he's got a green mohawk. For sure.
A green mohawk. Oh, yeah, you are right. And that does look like fire. Yeah.
So he looks Gruul, even though he's mono-red. So I think it would be something like that with the other 4. I think the blue one would probably be Izzet. Just because... It would probably be Izzet. You would probably have Azorius for white, I would imagine. What are the 2 other major ones? Probably Rakdos for black.
Yeah. And Simic for green.
That would be cool. Simic,
kind of a giant mutant. Whatever.
A giant Kraken mutant.
Oh, dude, Kraken mutant. I'm totally in on that.
Just make it look like the Kraken from the Dungeons and Dragons monster manual. The one that just doesn't look like an actual Kraken. It's just crazy.
Is it just like a man but with tentacles?
No, it's got like a face and crab claws and...
Okay, so kind of like what some magic krakens look like.
Yeah, it's got like tentacles sweeping down.
Like Tromokratus.
Yeah.
What we're saying is put Tromokratus on Ravnica. No, it's no, I get what you're saying. So yeah, no, it would be kind of cool to see like these 5 like primal.
Yeah, it's this thing.
Okay, well I'll have to make sure to
throw that up on screen because look
how
crazy that is.
That does look like Tromokratus.
Yeah, it just looks crazy.
But no, I do like that idea of like these more like primal. It could even kind of be a way to like soft reset the Nephilim.
Yeah, it could be.
But
because I really like the Nephilim. I talk about this a little bit in my second combo corner because I mentioned that if you run, this is just a quick side tangent. I mentioned that if you run like a 4-color deck without white, you can run all of the infinite damage combos that I've talked about in there. And I want to build around that Nephilim that's sans white and just
which one is that?
Put it. It's the snake one with like an eye in its chest.
Glint Eye?
Glint Eye, yeah. I wanna build a deck that's him, and it's just flipping all of the infinite damage combos.
Yeah, just this eye sees all.
This eye sees your doom.
Yeah, no, that I've kind of come around on that idea. I do like the idea of like these more primal gods that are even older than the Nephilim. I like this idea of like they're just these primal forces. And kind of on that same topic, bouncing planes over to Theros.
Yeah, because for the first Theros block, we just had the 15 gods. And then in Theros Beyond Death, we got 2 titans. And there ain't no way there are only 2 titans.
Well, yeah, because even on the saga Binding of the Titans,
there are 3.
There might be 4.
Yeah, there's at least 3, maybe 4, like you said, but...
Also worth noting, the card Fateful End that we got in Beyond Death shows Klothys fighting something that does not appear on any card.
Oh yeah, and it's massive.
It is the size, it is bigger than a god, and it doesn't appear to have eyes. It appears to have just giant horns.
And look at the flavor text. Everything will be put back in its proper place. It could be an escaped titan. Kind of like how we got cards in Beyond Death that featured the gods that we didn't get cards of, like Keranos. That could be featuring a titan we didn't get a card of.
I almost said, and Athreos, but then I was like, nope, buy a box. Yeah, so there are other titans. And no, I agree with you. Like, I love their flavor. I love the escape mechanic on them. I mentioned it in Taste the Cardboard.
Yeah.
Just the flavor of escape. Do it for other color combos.
I imagine if they do more, it's going to be a cycle of the 10 color pairs.
Yeah, because we've already got the Rakdos one with Kroxa, and we've got the Simic one with Uro.
What I kind of wish they had done instead of the dual colors, because we already have dual colored gods from Theros.
Right.
Kind of wish they had done 3 color titans. A cycle of those instead.
I agree. I think the main reason why they left with the 2 color is because like 2 color and like devotion and stuff like that is kind of Theros' thing. Yeah. And so monocolor and 2 color has like always been Theros' thing, and so I see why they stuck with that. I do agree with you. Yeah. I think it would have been cool to see them kind of break the mold a little bit, especially with something like this.
There is definitely a good reason for them to be 2 color. I just wish that they were a little bit more unique from the gods, you know?
No, I get you. Because, you know, we've got Kroxa as black-red, but then we've also got...
Rose.
Or no, I was going to say we've got Mogus, God of Slaughter, who's the same colors.
What would Kroxa's 3rd color be?
Oh, God. I mean, the only thing I could think of to fit for him is green.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because just the wrath of nature.
Which
is, well, I guess that's also why they had to do 2 colors, because literally Uro is the titan of nature's wrath.
Yeah, and he's kind of he's made of a storm, which is blue-green. That makes
sense. Which again, it makes sense, but we don't have to be happy about it.
we can imagine a perfect world where they have the 3 colors and it works and fits in every way.
That all being said, the last one on your list is the one I'm most excited about, because I agree with you 100%.
This last one, because as we've talked about before, I love the Eldrazi and I love the Phyrexians. And I want to talk more about the Phyrexians at some point.
And one of my favorite characters in this entire game is Yawgmoth.
Yep, and we've seen what he looks like as a gross Phyrexian monster.
Yeah, he shows up it's a manual or a magazine or something where it's, hey, let's take this man and turn him inside out. Technically, I guess that is him also on Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, where it's just a wall, this giant wall with like a head.
Isn't he big?
Well, Yawgmoth was just a human.
He started out that way, but once he was...
But yeah, he became a death cloud.
Yeah, because we got...
As you do.
We got a creature card for him back in Modern Horizons, where... Is he a human, or is Thrawn a different thing? Because he's a Thrawn.
Yes,
Thrawn
he
position.
is... Thran isn't a creature type. He is a human.
Okay.
But, I don't I haven't actually looked up that much if there's really that big of a difference between Thran and human. I'd assume not.
Yeah, because Thran is also where we got Karn's name.
As well as the Dynamo.
Yeah, the Thrawn Dynamo. I wonder if it's just like a human nation, alternatively.
Probably.
Anyway,
but yeah, so we got his human form before he turned into Captain Inside Out.
Before he grossified. And you could see his outfit on his creature card is the same shape as his body when he becomes a Phyrexian.
Where he's got like kind of that ribcage type texture.
Yeah, that was just an outfit that he rocked when he was a physician.
I love everything about his physician artwork, because his belt buckle, which is just a silver circle with a needle shoved through it to hold the belt on, is the Phyrexian symbol.
Oh yeah.
But then you're right, he's got that, and then he's got see, if you look at his artwork, his belt buckle is the Phyrexian symbol.
Oh yeah, I like that.
His chest piece though is creepy.
He's got really cool outfit, honestly. I like it a lot.
Yeah, homeboy's looking like Spice 8 Rack over here.
He doesn't look bad until he grossifies.
Right, but how cool would it be? That's what I was excited when we finally got that card.
Yeah, we finally had a Yawgmoth card.
We finally got to see Yawgmoth. There was just the ping of disappointment because it wasn't Monster Yawgmoth.
I think the sort of theming there for Modern Horizons was because we also got Urza before he was a Planeswalker. Because they don't really clash until one's a Planeswalker and the other is a Phyrexian monster.
Right.
But it would be cool. What if in the same set that we get a flip Urza card, we get Monster Yawgmoth?
I'm with that 100%.
I want to go back to the Phyrexians, and it was alluded to in Theros.
Yeah, because I think that's where Ashiok's currently going.
Yeah, Ashiok was taking a deep dive into Elspeth's fears, as they do. And
because Elspeth came from a world that had been conquered by the Phyrexians.
Yeah, so she had memories of the Phyrexians. Ashiok saw them, and Ashiok can make nightmares real, because that's not overpowered at all. So they went off to go find what they called living nightmares to study them, so that they can go and make them elsewhere.
Man, it would have been cool if we would have gotten a card showing them doing that, but whatever.
Yeah.
I guess corners had to be cut if you're going to put everything into a single set, as opposed to even just 2 sets. But anyway.
Because we used to get 3 whole sets for a story, which...
Yeah, it was...
They kind of revisited that for Ravnica.
3 sets to a block, and then they lowered it down to 2 sets to a block, and now they just kind of do whatever works.
They kind of do what they want now.
But no, I totally agree. It'd be really cool to see a flip Yawgmoth.
A flip Yawgmoth. I wasn't thinking that, but that would be cool. I mentioned getting a flip Urza and then Monster Yawgmoth in the same set, because they would sort of be around the same time period.
See, I was assuming that you would meant that you would have Yawgmoth.
A flip Yawgmoth would also work.
Flip him into the monster form. Although,
I was just thinking...
The thing with that is Yawgmoth never became a Planeswalker.
I know, yeah, and another thing with that is, I think it would be kind of weird to have to just make a second human Yawgmoth card, just because half of it is the monster. I feel like you would want the whole card to focus on Monster Yawgmoth if you're going to do it at all.
Well, I would say that because we've got werewolves that are creatures on both sides.
Yes.
I could see it being human Yawgmoth on one side, he does a thing and he flips into this other creature.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, it'd be really cool. After we got Modern Horizons and they kind of dipped their toes in the water with Urza and Yawgmoth.
Revisiting these old
revisiting them
characters.
Again. Bringing them back. We saw Joyra again when we went back to Dominaria. We saw Sisay again, Captain Sisay, as well in Modern Horizons. That's... And now that you've reminded me that Core Set 2021 focuses on Teferi, that makes me super excited.
The gates are thrown wide open when you have a time traveler as your lead. Just go watch Doctor Who and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Or you won't, because Doctor Who is long and convoluted.
It's
still good though.
Yeah.
It's still good. Teferi, the 12th Doctor. What Doctor are we on?
I don't watch it. I don't know.
14th Doctor.
I think
After,
you're right.
because Doctor's currently a woman.
Yeah.
So we'll go from a woman to Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Idris Elba for Doctor Who.
No, when they do the animated magic show directed by the Russos, I want them to get Idris Elba to play Teferi.
Oh yeah, for voice.
First I want Teferi in it, and then I want Idris Elba. But the animation could still make him look like Idris Elba. He already kind of does.
Yeah.
It would fit. It would be a perfect fit.
I mean, was there any other cards that we kind of talked about it earlier in regards to maybe making an episode of Tribal Talk around it, but just because it's taken way less time to talk about these than I had kind of anticipated, so we might end up wrapping this up in a couple minutes. But take sharks, separate them from fish, and then give me a legendary shark. Do it, you cowards!
That'd be terrifying. Like,
give me a legendary hippo, a legendary crocodile, and a legendary shark. Just cater to my needs.
I feel like the shark would be Grixis.
I guess this is kind of moving over into the territory of my Tribal Talk videos, but there's just like a handful of creature tribes that I want legendary creatures for.
A good way for them to introduce like a whole new tribe could be in a commander set, where they just have a whole deck made around a tribe.
Yeah, kind of like when they did the tribal builds for Magic, or for Commander 2017, when it was wizards, dragons, cats, and vampires.
Yeah, they could. Sure, it would be a lot of new cards to make a whole new tribe work, but they could do it. That would be a good way to just like shotgun out like 30 cards of a new creature type, 30 sharks, 30 crocodiles.
Because I mean, like they've introduced like creature type like up until Ixalan block, with the exception of the silver bordered card Old Fogey. There's a silver bordered card called Old Fogey, and it's this old dinosaur that has just a bunch of outdated mechanics. It's super funny. I'll have him on screen.
Yeah.
But like up until then, a lot of things that should be dinosaurs were listed as lizard beasts. And then
weird. And then they added dinosaur. Did they add it in Ixalan?
So dinosaur was around before like the grand creature type updates. And then those went and errated and oracled up like anything that had Sor or Saurus in it was a lizard or a lizard beast. Like the big one that I always have at the top of my head is the Deathmiss Raptor that was in Khan's block. It's a raptor, and when you look at it, it's clear. Well, it's not a Velociraptor, but it's a raptor. But it was a lizard beast.
For a split second, I thought you were gonna say Deathosaurus.
Good old Deathosaurus. But then with Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan, they reintroduced the dinosaur type. So a lot of these older cards that depict what should be dinosaurs or what could conceivably be dinosaurs, a lot of them, they are. A lot of them kept the beast type.
So they're beast dinosaurs now?
They're dinosaur beasts.
Weird.
There's one that its whole thing is that beasts can't block. That's its whole thing. But now it was a lizard beast. Now it's a dinosaur beast. It's another raptor. But there's literally Shivan Raptor, who was a lizard beast. Or that one might have even just been a lizard, but it clearly showed a dinosaur. Yeah. So you're right. It would be relatively easy for like one of these commander sets to be like, hey, we're taking sharks out of fish. Anything that
that's a neat trick.
We're taking. Usually it's the other way around. But we're taking sharks. We're giving them their own creature type. A handful of these that had been errated, because I know there's Hammerhead Shark and there's Great White Shark. I actually have a copy of Great White Shark out in my living room. It's a terrible card.
Oh yeah.
But it's with my fossilized shark teeth. You know, errata those are now sharks. Maybe find some fish that could conceivably be called sharks. I mean, like, Shamble Shark, the Simic creature,
Yeah.
is a fish crab.
Oh, is that the thing with the hammerhead?
It's got the
And,
hammerhead, it's got, like, the big pot belly, and it's like...
Oh, I hate love it. It's so weird.
But yeah, no, that, like, I just have I love playing tribes. Like, tribal builds are my favorite. And so, I literally mostly will just sit here and be like, hey, I want a legendary hippo. I want a legendary crocodile. I want a legendary shark.
We'll just sit there making demands of Wizards of the
Right.
Coast.
Make demand. Wizards, do what I want.
Make me your CEO.
Make me your CEO, I'll make tribal cards.
That's all you'll contribute.
That's all I'll contribute, and that's what a CEO does. But
Didn't they add a whole new creature type in Eldraine?
they added a couple. Noble, Warlock was new. Peasant.
Oh, weird.
What was really cool is with Noble, one card for sure that I know of, and another one that I'm guessing, got the Noble type, and that's the Abushen, or whatever his name is, the Cephalid Emperor. Is a Cephalid Noble now.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason I say that there's one that I know of, and then one that I can guess on, is because there's also the Cephalid Empress. I can't remember what her name is, but she's literally his estranged wife.
It's conceivable to say
She also
she's
got Noble.
also noble.
But yeah, no, it's... So they can introduce creature types, and they haven't... They've proven that they're not above, like, putting the errata on older types to have them fall the line.
But they won't give Nephilim legendary.
That's its whole other can of worms. They've talked about doing
yeah.
that before, and it kind of has to do with the fact that, like, the two sides of the argument are that, like, well, legendary, while it used to be a creature type, it was legend.
Now it's a
super type. But there's people that have made the argument of, well, you took legend from being a creature type to being a super type. You should be able to take these, and I don't care about it either way. I know that the people that it's a debate. It could be its own video if we wanted it to.
Yeah. My whole thing is, if they're not legendary, I imagine this is probably wrong, but it must mean that there's more than one of each.
Which is terrifying because, like, your Tiller is massive.
Yeah, it looks like something out of Bayonetta. It really does.
I really wish you hadn't said that.
With the
baby face.
The baby face. The stone baby face.
Did you forget the word stone?
I did.
Do you know how to say the word aura?
Shut up. That was from our previous recording where I said Ori, but we left it in.
I asked if you wanted to change it. You said no.
No, it's funnier if we leave it.
Anyway, I mean, I think we can say we're coming up on time.
Yeah,
we can cut that here.
Things up now.
But yeah, no, it's just, like, I love this format, and I love having, and I've been seeing, like, a lot of stuff on Twitter of what, like, people want, and, like, the biggest thing that I keep seeing is a lot of people want, like, hilariously, I see people that want more niche commanders, and people that want more non-niche commanders.
I want to see more unique things. They don't have to be unique creature types, but unique mechanics.
Yeah, we don't need to, like, put, like, a full, like, value engine into it, because I know a lot of people hate Corfold because of that.
I just love weird mechanics that I can try to make work, like Valduk, where suit him up, he makes elementals every turn.
Yeah,
Work with that.
I went from not being scared of that deck to, like, it just gets out of hand, like...
And since I took out Embercleave, it's like a $50 deck, so it's really budget, and I'm really proud of it.
Because, like, we were sitting there, we were actually playing earlier, and I was sitting there with a couple of Death Touch things, and I was thinking, like, alright, all I need him to do is swing with Valduk, and then I can kill him. And then you're like, alright, move to combat, make 5 elementals, swing with the elementals. And I was like, that's right, why would he swing with Valduk?
I keep my boy safe.
And then the one time you're like, well, I might as well swing with him, because it sounds like you're going to kill him next turn. No, Valduk is ridiculous.
I just love cards like that, where it's just some dumb mechanic, but you can make it work. and they make a unique deck out of it.
Yeah, I tried to do that with Rampage. It didn't work. Yeah, no, Chromium's coming out of that deck to be replaced by, Chromium, but...
Better Chromium?
Yeah, I'm taking bad Chromium out and putting in good Chromium.
Ah.
But anyway, that's what we're going to call this one for the night, or for the day, or whenever you are watching this. Thanks for listening to a couple of morons ramble about cardboard for...
Hey,
Almost-
it's Mr. Moron to you.
Barely. Anyway, if you like this kind of content from us, give us a like, toss a sub our way, leave a comment, let us know what you think. What would you like to see if you could personally take anything and make your own commander, what would you do?
Mark Rosewater invites you to his office and says, "Make me a commander. We'll commission the art for it. You just design it."
Mark Rosewater, can you invite us to your office?
To make commanders.
Can I make my shark? Give me free reign. We only live a couple hours from you guys. I won't say in what direction, but we can be there within the day. Anyway, like, comment, toss us a sub. I've been Tyler,
I've been Andrew.
and this has been another episode of Taps for Two. Later, y'all.